Yeah. We're back. So anyway, we're gonna jump on into this thing, starting off with, is Aaron Donald the best defensive player of all times? All time. Is Aaron Donald better than Warran Sapp, LT, or Deion? Is the NFL trending to be more like the NBA? And what did Derek Jeter, compared to LeBron, have to say about those Boston fans? We'll tell you all that and more when we come back. Bam. Yes. So anyway, we're back right after that. So we're gonna jump right on into it. Is Aaron Donald the best defensive player of all time? Man, Aaron Donald's only been in the league 8-9 years, and considered to be the GOAT. To be the GOAT. That's kind of hard to say. Best defensive player of all time. Donald. Get some stats on this young man right quick. He's definitely a baller. Aaron Charles Donald, 6'1", 284, defensive tackle, 6-pack abs and all. Been in the league since 8 years, look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Super Bowl champ. I don't know great numbers for a D tackle, but he already has 98 sacks. I think the record, I gotta look up the record, but 98 sacks in the first 8 years in the league. So rookie year, 9 sacks. Sophomore year, 11 sacks. Junior year, 8 sacks. Fourth year, fifth year, 11 sacks. 20 and a half sacks in 18. 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 12 and a half this last past year. He had more assists this year, but you got to think also who else they had on that defense with Von Miller. Very, very, very good team. Obviously, they just won the Super Bowl. But let me see what's the most sacks in NFL history since they start keeping total. NFL. Let's see, folks. Let's see. NFL sack leaders. Let's see. Woo! Boy, he got a ways to go. Bruce Smith has 200. He is already, so Aaron Donald right now is 40th all-time, tied for 40th all-time career sack. J.J. Watt is at 102, but J.J. Watt been in the league. I have to see how long J.J. Watt's been in the league. He's at 102. Simeon Rice, 121. How many Warran Sapp got? But Bruce Smith is top of that list at 200. Reggie White, 198. Kevin Green, I think that was his name, 160. So between third and second place is a big jump. Julius Peppers, 159. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He got to be in the Hall of Fame by now. Chris Dolman, Michael Strahan at 141. So let me try to. I don't know how Simeon Rice isn't in the Hall of Fame though, for real. Von Miller is at 114. I don't know where Sapp is. Sapp ain't even in the top. Oh, no, let's see. Sapp is number 46 at 96 and a half sacks. So Aaron Donald, 8 years in the league, is 40th all time in sacks. Will he be able to get to 200? I doubt it. Unless he plays a lot. He's already talked about retirement. Based off his what he was talking about, based off if things working for him, looking good for him, somewhere he want to stay, then he just said, yeah, he'll come back for the money. But he said on what was that podcast, the Pivot podcast, he said that, he just coming back for the money. If it ain't a championship, and it ain't even worth him coming back. So obviously they're gonna pay the man. He's gonna come back. But it's more so about the championships. But the question is he the best defensive player? What was the first question? I forgot what the rambling. Best defensive player of all time. Is Aaron Donald better than Warran Sapp? So I can't answer that, but I know somebody who can. And basically, and a guy who coached both of them, or at least was on the team, and that would be Raheem Morris, Super Bowl champ, defensive coach. So let's see. The defensive coordinator for the Rams this year led them to a Super Bowl champ. If you remember back in I know we had Josh Freeman down in Tampa. He was just kind of put in as a surprise as the head coach. I think the second season we had a 10-6 season. We didn't make the playoffs simply because we got played out some kind of way, but we should have made the playoffs. I ain't gonna say should have, but we could have made the playoffs. Then after that, it just went the wrong way, and then he ended up getting fired and all that. But Raheem Morris is a darn good coach who probably deserves a head coaching job in this league. Definitely based off of coming off of a Super Bowl champ. So we'll see. But let's see what Raheem Morris had to say from a person who had a first a straight view. I don't know how to say it. He was there to see both of these guys play, Warran Sapp and Aaron Donald. So the question is, who's better? Aaron Donald, Warran Sapp, LT, Deion, whoever else you want to go on there on that defensive end. But let's see. Hold on.
Listen, but he's just a dog. Sapp is unbelievable. Like, and AD is unbelievable. Right. Like, I even hate comparing the two. Like, I wish they could have played in the same era. I wish they could have played together. I wish they could have played around each other. I wish they could have seen each other.
So basically, right there, he's basically, because they've been pressing him. They've been pressing on this interview. If you go back watching the Pivot podcast with Raheem Morris, they was pressing him on who was the best between Sapp and Aaron Donald. And basically, he said Sapp was a dog, but Aaron Donald was different. Let's see if we can finish this a little bit.
You got to respect.
So AD is the top dog. What was your mindset and the emotions that went through you when they said, I think we can get Von Miller?
Oh, man.
So basically, Freaky Fred said he could read the room and basically said that he's the top dog. Raheem Morris didn't challenge it or anything. But that's crazy that in 8 years that Aaron Donald can be considered, even in the conversation, of the greatest defensive player of all time. You know what I'm saying? The greatest D lineman of all time. Better than Sapp. Now, a person would ask, is he the best defensive player of all time? We've seen Megatron make it into the Hall of Fame after 9 years of play. I don't think they ever made the playoff, I'm pretty sure. But we see him make it to the Hall of Fame. Aaron Donald, without question, is a Hall of Famer. But is he the best defensive player of all time? That's the question. I mean, is this a case of where you're stuck in the moment? Is a person stuck in the moment right now, looking at Aaron Donald? It's hard to say, but with the rules of today compared to back in the day, and this man is doing what he's doing, it's hard to go against him possibly being the best player of all time. I mean, we had LT, Lawrence Taylor, who was high on something every time we went out there to play. So is that an advantage or is that a disadvantage? You know what I mean? Ray Lewis. Is Ray Lewis in that conversation? I think that's a conversation we need to have. I may have to draw that up. Who's the best defensive player of all time? You know, and then the conversation becomes who is the best player of all time? You know, Tom Shady Brady got 7 of them things over there. You know what I'm saying? Who has more than that? I think Charles Haley has 5, maybe. So who has more than that? I don't think nobody got more than Shady Brady. But to call him the best football player of all time, he played one position, quarterback. Did he? Is he the best at this point? Yeah, you have to say yes. I mean, I was a big Joe fan, but my I was big on Peyton Manning, but my favorite quarterback of all time is Randall Cunningham, and then Michael Vick. My two favorite quarterbacks of all time. But what Shady Brady, you know what I'm saying? But I say my personal opinion is Deion's the best football player of all time because he did it all. Yeah, Deion's my favorite. I mean, he's my favorite cornerback of all time, but I think he's the greatest football player of all time. When Deion went from Atlanta to, I think he went to San Francisco first, and he basically introduced the shutdown corner. I don't know if that was a thing before Deion, but that was the thing. After that, that was the blueprint. You got to get a shutdown corner. Where did he go next? He went to Dallas. You got to get a shutdown corner. That was the thing in the league once Deion went to San Francisco, and they because I think the year before Dallas beat San Francisco or something like that. But anyway, that was the thing. You needed a shutdown corner. Now, then it went to, defensive ends, get to the quarterback. And now where it's at? Probably DN and probably still DN and cornerback. I think those are probably the two pivotal. Did I say that right? I don't know. But anyway, players on the defense. Yes, because your D-line has to get pressure because right now you're facing five-man front. We got Sitting Politic want to come on the show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pop him on in here. Y'all welcome my boy over there. Let me see. We got Sitting Politic coming on the show. Bam, what's going on, sir?
Oh, man, it's dark in here. I didn't realize how dark it was because I just hopped on here. You don't give no notice, man.
Yeah, man, I put it in the chat, man. That's what you told me to do.
No, it'll just be the bat signal, and all of a sudden I gotta, change everything around in my life and argue with my woman.
My bad. I will tell her I said my bad.
Yeah, she's making chicken, and she need the exact time limit on how long it's gonna take me. No, I'm playing, no, I'm not playing. But it is what it is, player. You know what we're doing.
Yeah, Carl. You know what's up. But also the discussion is, I was watching the Pivot, and Aaron Donald was on the show, and
I'm here.
Okay. Aaron Donald was on the show, and they basically asked him. I don't know if you listen, but I can bring it back. But basically, they asked Raheem Morris, who was the defensive coordinator for the Super Bowl winning Rams this year, and he also was on that team when Tampa won the Super Bowl back in the day with Warran Sapp. So they asked him who was the better player. And basically, he said Sapp was a dog, but basically he said Aaron Donald is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So right off the bat, something that jumps out to me is that he's still coaching one player. You know what I mean? He's still active coach. One player is an active. So keeping that relationship kosher, I think, is a little bit more important to him than keeping that Warran Sapp relationship kosher. And this is a guy. Wasn't he just? Didn't he just? I think he was just the Jets head coach or interim head coach, something like that. So,
no, that's Atlanta, I think.
Atlanta. Okay. Oh. So, okay. Either way. So, I mean, I know he was a head coach for a short period of time recently. So he has aspirations as far as that goes. So, I could see that having just as much to do with it. But I do think Aaron Donald is different. He's not wrong when he says that. But Warran Sapp was different too, though, is the only thing. You know what I mean?
So I looked up the numbers. Warran Sapp. He also coached the Bucs for 2 or 3 years too, by the way. Head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up the numbers. Warran Sapp was number 46 all time in sacks, and Aaron Donald right now going into year 9 is 40 all time.
All right. So Well, one thing I would argue though, and I'm not necessarily against saying Aaron Donald's better than Warren Sapp. I think I would say he is better than Warren Sapp, but his game is a little different too. Like a lot of Warren Sapp's game is not going to necessarily show up on the stat line. Like he's just a disruptor. You know what I mean? He's in the middle of the defense. He could blow up a play. Somebody else get the tackle, but really the person that made the play was Warren Sapp. So yeah. So I mean, but at the same time, I don't know. It's tough because I don't really. Can I tell you something that you said that really perked my interest before I hop on here? Yeah, mentioned Megatron, Cole. You tried to throw some dirt on his name, like he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer off rip.
I didn't throw no dirt on his name. I said,
you said Megatron's a Hall of Famer. No. What? Okay, yeah, no. Of course he's a Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
Well, it's not that he's a Hall of Famer or not. Yes. Should be a Hall of Fame, but my argument has always been his longevity in the league. But I guess that's not a criteria anymore, really.
Dude, when he was in the league, man, look at those are some numbers you need to look at before you start talking out like crazy. Like what?
Yeah, I've seen.
Gotta hop on here. I was like, it's worth the argument. Whatever. I guess on the couch tonight. Megatron will keep me warm.
Yeah. I mean, he deserves to be in there. I ain't gonna lie. But I just honestly hate to see him quit, just like Barry Sanders. I hate it when Barry Sanders retired.
Probably. Yeah. Well, so one thing, it's probably the same thing. I don't know how you feel about Barry Sanders, but a lot of people think like he might be the best running back of all time, obviously, and just short-lived. What was that?
That's my vote. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, so it goes the same way for me. I would say Calvin Johnson is probably the best wide receiver of all time. And if you look at, I think he had a 9-year career. Over those 9 years, I was going crazy on the Detroit Lions. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, yeah, I'm sick. I'm
putting Jared there.
Oh man, trust me. I looked at these stats. I think I got to edit a podcast where we might be looking, talking about these stats tonight. I've looked at these recently. Jerry is definitely there. Jerry, it's something crazy. I had to put some extra respect on his name because he has like 5 or 7 seasons over 1,200 yards. Something stupid.
Yeah, 20-something TDs.
Yeah. My thing is, so the conversation we were having on our show, the Sit in Politics, was originally it was Jerry Rice and it was Randy Moss, which is I think the normal conversation that people usually have.
Well, I think they throw T.O. in there too. Some people do. Definitely.
I think we might even look at T.O.'s numbers on the podcast. But the main conversation starter was Randy Moss and it was Jerry Rice. And I have to say, as somebody that would come into that conversation in the past already defending Randy Moss, bro, it's not even a conversation. He really is not. He's not in conversation for that. Randy Moss, I didn't hear you, so I don't know if there's something that just happened with your mic.
No, I'm good.
Okay, my bad. I couldn't hear you. It was I read your lips. I read your where you're like Randy Moss. Yeah, no, 100%. He's not in the conversation, Cole. Like if you look at it over his career, so where Calvin Johnson, I would argue it's a shorter career, but every year he played, he went bananas. Just about. Randy Moss, he played, but there's a lot of years, even in his prime, where it was just shitty. And I'm talking about even on the Vikings and whatever. I'm talking about like years where he went under 1,000 yards and stuff. I didn't expect to see that. I was thinking Randy Moss was like over 1,200 yards every season, like going crazy and like probably like at least 12 touchdowns a season. So, I mean, I don't know. Who are you looking at?
Megatron. He had 2 seasons under 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
786 and one was 984.
How many games did he play, Cole?
Games 14 one season and 15 the other season.
Stop it. My dog never played a full season where he went under 1,000 yards. And the rest of them, I know. I looked at the numbers. They're going fucking nuts. Talk about those. Don't just tell me about under 1,000.
15 games, 756 yards. That was his rookie season, though.
Rookie season. Give him come on, let him cook.
Next year.
Was Matthew Stafford his quarterback at that time, or was it somebody else? I wonder. I'm gonna look. What was that?
Stafford the whole time.
Stafford. Well, are you sure, or did he get there and then they drafted Stafford the next year?
Well, you might be right. I don't know.
Here, let me look this. What? So you have Megatron up. What year did Megatron get drafted? Does it say?
07.
07. I'm gonna look at Stafford real quick. 07. So 09.
What? Stafford.
So Megatron was cooking with who knows who, man. What did he do year 2? Man?
Huh?
What did you do?
I don't changed off for him. I think he had like, I don't know. I forgot because I done changed. I went to Randy Moss. I think he had like 16, 11 something. I think.
Yeah.
Or 6. Bad.
You're all good. Yeah. What about Randy? What's your defense for him? Come on.
No, I don't have no defense. I mean, now the only thing we can say about Randy Moss, I remember when I was in school and we were saying you got Moss or Moss. So he did create.
I same foolish argument.
Oh, real stuff.
No, I mean, I feel you. Like I said, this was part of my argument even on the podcast we did. Like I started out and I'm like, Randy Moss is nasty. Like who else, when you catch someone, that's the same thing. Like you're going over people's head tops, you're saying Randy Moss. But it speaks to how
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Randy Moss was a bad boy.
You're tripping.
Rookie year, 1,300 yards, 16 games played.
Yeah, you're tripping. If you're acting like he's fucking with Calvin Johnson for real. Are you serious?
Yes.
You're bugging.
He had a longer career though, so it's kind of.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of hard to. He had one bad season by his standards. He played 13 games.
Yeah,
I mean with Minnesota because you talked about Minnesota. He played 13 games, had 767 yards, and still had 13 TD. When Megatron was low, his TD numbers were low too.
I'm not going to shit on him, man. Those are nice numbers. I'm not going to shit on the touchdowns.
The last year with New England, I don't know. He got traded during the season. I don't know. He played.
I don't remember how that ended.
4 games, 9 receptions, 139 yards. Then he went to Minnesota. I guess I don't know what this is.
Yeah, at the end of his career, it was shit.
Minnesota.
It's confusing. Like, what do you mean?
Yards.
Looks like you're looking at somebody that works at a.
This must be all with his 2010 season. So 2010, he played with the Patriots for 4 games.
Yeah.
He played with Minnesota for 4 games and 8 games with Tennessee.
Oh.
So he had a total of 300 or 400 yards. It wasn't a lot.
Bro, imagine his tax agent. Jesus.
And then with San Francisco, his last year in 2012, I don't know what happened in 2011, but he had 434 yards, 16 games. So I don't know what just happened. It
was bad. Yeah, he could have probably pulled a Megatron and just stopped playing football a couple years earlier.
And then he had that year with the Raiders, he had 553 yards in 13 games, but everybody know he quit then.
Oh, but that goes on his resume.
It goes on his resume, and that's my knock. Definitely, when he quit, that was definitely a knock against him.
Yeah,
because 1,300, 1,400, 1,400, 1,200, 1,300, 1,600, 700, 1,000, 500, 15,000.
Hold on, rewind that though. You said 700, 500, 700 again. He had 3 years where he was just shitting the bed on whoever he was playing for.
It's crapping, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One with Minnesota. 700. But Megatron had that too. He had a 500 yard season and a 700 yard season.
Hey, one of those is his rookie year. The other one, he probably had plantar fasciitis. Like, what are we even talking about right now? Give the man a break. He had 1 year where he was hurt.
So we can do 2 years then,
Brody.
If we take away 2 years and take away his 2 years.
Oh, because let me see. Because I feel like you were leaving a lot of the highlights out. You weren't fair to Calvin Johnson, I feel like.
No, cause Moss
Yeah, no, I'm hating.
It looking good over here now. And then the TDs, Moss killed them on the TDs.
Did he?
7, 15, 10, 7, 17, 13, 8, 3, 23. Ooh.
Well, he had, but look, Megatron had a 16 touchdown season. He had a 12 touchdown season, another 12 touchdown season, another 12 touchdown season. So it's like, come on now, stop it. You're being silly.
2 17s, a 23.
By the way, 15 his whole career. This guy over here is hopping around as however he feels, like LeBron James and shit. You know what I mean? But they're not doing LeBron things.
I don't know who I would take, Cole. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna say I'll take Moss.
Moss is up to Moss's top 5. But like I said, I was a guy. I was arguing Moss. I'm just trying to be a humble man and learn things. You know, the older I get, you know, I need to be wiser, and I need to say, at the end of the day, the Randy Moss thing, nah, that's not not against Jerry Rice. I think Calvin Johnson has, because bro, there's some of these seasons too. By the way, this is quiet as kept. We're not even giving it full context. There's this one season he played 14 games. He had almost 15,000 yards. I mean, 1,500 yards. My bad. 12 touchdowns. He played 14 games. Bro, come on. Like 13 games here, over 1,000 yards. 15 games, 1,100 yards. Come on. The game that when he played his rookie year, he only started 10 of those games where he had 700 yards.
Why he started?
That's just what it says. It says started.
I ain't gonna come off the bench.
Yeah, they're wild for that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're definitely wild for that. I mean, I wonder.
Off him already. I'm monster man. No, I'm just playing.
we went through a lot when we were having this discussion. A lot of different options. Like Antonio Brown was somebody that we felt like should be discussed. But I mean, it's tough. Yeah, he's very erratic.
Yeah, man. I mean,
he's just not completely healthy.
Man,
what are you looking at?
Looking at T.O. now, cuz.
Yeah, T.O. I mean, like that's probably more the longevity argument that you're talking about. Like he might even, I don't know. Who played longer, him or Jerry? I wonder.
Not Jerry played longer.
Definitely.
Jerry was about 50. No, for literally, I think 41 or something, 41, 42, trying to play in Seattle.
Damn. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, I know T.O.'s still trying to play right now. Well, I mean, shit, he is playing in that fan control league. Yeah.
He needs to get up, Cole. I mean, I like him get out there, though, if somebody pick him up.
For sure.
Man, in 2010. See, I think T.O. was just a product of just talking too much and just one of them players who had something left in the tank, but a team just didn't want to deal with his attitude.
Definitely. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, not worth it. You know what I mean? Like if he can come in and like with T.O., I don't know what he could do for you now, but like when he played for the Bengals with Ocho Cinco for those, like maybe it's 2 years. It was a real short period of time, but it might have even only been 1 year. But I mean, he was balling. He was outplaying Ocho Cinco coming right into the system. And I think they pushed for a playoff spot, and they might even made a playoff spot that year. I don't remember, but I know they were competitive that year, and it was impressive because that was his first shot back in the NFL. And I thought
83 yards, cool.
What was that?
983 yards, 9 TDs.
Damn, how many games? All 16?
Yep.
Yeah. So
14, my bad, 14.
14. My dog would have went for 1K if he would have played 16 games.
Yeah. Year before 16 with Buffalo.
Yeah.
8 some yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. But I think he had a lot of drops, though. I think that's what kind of, in my opinion, kind of take T.O. out the conversation. Well, but I did show the other day on Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
And not on Donovan McNabb, but Deshaun Jackson. He was on I Am Athlete.
Got you, Deshaun Jackson.
He talked about, so I think what he was saying kind of brings some light on T.O., but basically he was saying that he was the first player in NFL history to make the Pro Bowl for kick or punt returns, 1 or 2, and as a wide receiver, as a starter, and said that Donovan McNabb said, well, he didn't deserve that.
Deshaun Jackson? He said Deshaun Jackson didn't deserve it?
Yeah, his own teammate, who he put in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, okay, so was there any question Donovan McNabb was a hater? I could just look at that man and tell he's a hater, but that's fine. Continue, please.
So the thing I'm saying is that all that big beef that him and T.O. had,
yeah,
could have possibly been
McNabb's fault.
Could have been McNabb's fault. Because everybody just look at T.O. as the villain, but T.O. really Well, I don't know. He has some on the field problems all the time.
Well, and probably what you're probably already really saying this. I think what it more likely is, and this is life. This is less salacious and less fun for, I guess, the YouTube and stuff like that. But it's no one person's fault. You know what I mean? Like, there's characters. There's like McNabb, I'm sure, has a specific kind of personality, and you got to surround him with certain personalities that are going to work with that. A TO is going to rub that the wrong way. He might have like a little bit of like a chip on his shoulder, or just be kind of like a negative ass person. And maybe Andy Reid wasn't even the best coach for McNabb for that reason. But
I think he said it. TO said it, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically he was talking about how he was basically trying not to get TO the ball. At one, that TO said,
yeah, I could see him being a shithead. You know what I mean? I could also see like people being put in toxic environments, being allowed for their toxic traits to run wild. You know what I mean? And like McNabb's also somebody that spent his entire career there, one organization, one coach. You know what I mean?
Washington at the end, but he was garbage.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. And then also that didn't work out and fizzled out really. And then there's a bunch of he said, she said with that situation. But then again, that's another organization. There's a bunch of he said, she said all over the place. Robert Griffin III said they touched him.
Huh?
Come on, Cole. Don't act like you didn't know that.
What?
This will do gonna act like, okay, I'm pretty sure we talked about it, but it's fine. All right, look, all right, breaking news here. No, Robert Griffin III, I don't even know if the book came out yet. We talked about it on the show a while ago. Where he was previewing his book, and part of it he talks about like being sexually harassed in Washington
by the organization.
I honestly, I don't remember the specifics. I remember reading the quote at the time on the show. I mean, maybe I can find it. But yeah, no, just the thing is, he's not the only person that said they had been sexually harassed in Washington.
Well, yes, it's been some females, but not the actual players.
Hey, man, that's a hard thing to admit. Cole, come on. Like, Robert Griffin III didn't even admit it until he's out of the league. Totally. Like, that's not an easy thing to say. Like, what I mean?
League and you want more money.
Well. Yeah, I mean, look, we're talking about it. It's definitely something to talk about, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. So
it doesn't mean that it's not true, but you out the league. You want some more money. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously everybody wants some more money for the most part, but I mean, it could be true. I ain't saying it's not true. I'm just saying it's kind of funny. Like,
I feel that.
That's kind of funny though, Cole.
It is. It's wild. Washington, yeah, just a shit show. But with Donovan McNabb, I don't know. I mean, I wonder under the right circumstance with somebody.
Really quick. Yeah, and the fact he comes out after all this stuff started coming out with the Raiders, and that's been linked to Washington. He could have came out with it before that at least, and it wouldn't be so funny to me, even though it's still funny.
Well, it makes it funny because it's more likely to be true.
No, it's because he waited. Why did he wait?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to find the exact quote.
Why did he wait?
We can't just sit here and say it's funny and then not find the quote.
I mean, the reason I don't mean it's like comical funny. I just mean like you waited till all this stuff come out about John Gruden, and then it's a whole bunch of sexual harassment stuff or whatever the case may be with this organization, and then that started to show its face, and then you come out and start saying that. It's just suspect to me. That's all. It's just suspect.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I'm just gonna start reading right here if you want. I haven't read this ahead of time, so I don't know if this is gonna say exactly, but this is an article about it. It says Robert Griffin III reveals he was sexually harassed while playing for the Washington football team. So let's see here. I'm going to tell you the truth about what happened in the playoff game in 2012 against Seattle. I'm going to detail the medical mismanagement that I received during my time in Washington. I'm going to open your eyes to the sexual harassment that permeated the walls of that building. and give you a deep dive into a power struggle between one of the most powerful coaches in all of sports and an owner that many of you want gone. Huh. Well, here I'm trying to look ahead here and see if there's anything about
keep playing.
Yeah, because I mean that just means he's going to talk about like other people getting like just they were wild harassing people in the building. Like I think that's a lot of people saying that.
I mean, it might be true. I'm not saying it's true. It's not true, but it's just.
Well, I mean, I mean, look. So I don't even got to get into it because I don't want to make your show about sexual harassment. But what constitutes sexual harassment? Like probably, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a very loose term.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
A certain specific look can be taken that way, and then for sure harassment. So so some vague topics, but
maybe like a trainer came on to him and he's like, "I'm a married man."
Yeah.
Or like the owner's just like grabbing his junk or something crazy. But no, I mean maybe it could be something like that. And he's just like, "No, wow, filthy."
Yeah. So So what you think about Aaron Donald being the greatest defensive player of all time?
Well, it's tough because he's still at the top of his game. Just last year, he had another great year, and he didn't retire. So it's like there's what was that?
40th on the sack list.
40th on the sack list.
And I know tackle isn't all about sacks, but he's 40th.
Well, and that makes it even more impressive, to be honest. That's what I was going to say. They move him around a little bit more now, but in his career, traditionally he played defensive tackle. So it's like, for him to be in that conversation is incredible. A lot of the things that apply to Warran Sapp that I said earlier, as far as like being disruptive and making a play without being the person that makes the tackle or like it landed on the stat sheet, also applies to him. Like he also allows people like Leonard Floyd or Von Miller, things like that, to flourish and get one on. So where that's not going to pop up on the stat sheet, he has that impact on the game on every single down. So and then he's somebody that actually still beats that. He's in the double, triple coverage, and he might still make the play, which is wild. But yeah, man, he just has a gravitational pull that those kind of like great players have at whatever position they're playing. They have a
And Raheem Morris also said one big thing between him and Sapp is the fact that he actually works out and more than Sapp. Sapp, I guess, had that natural gifts, man strength, so to speak.
You just said frick Shaq on this interview, huh? You just said, that's not a relationship I'm too concerned about. He's a lazy bastard.
Ooh, Sapp? No, that's what Raheem Morris said. I ain't saying it.
No, that's what I'm saying. In this interview, he's kind of like, I mean, he didn't hold back. I respect it, to be honest with you.
It wasn't like out there. He was like really to pry stuff out of him, to be honest.
No, I feel you, but I mean they did. And I mean he said he didn't work out like that. That's tough. I mean, that's something when you talk about players' legacies that a lot of times makes all the difference in setting them apart. You know what I mean? It's things like that is what they did either in like the like with their body and how they took care of their body or how prepared they were, how professional they were, all those things that he's basically shitting on when he says that. He's not just saying like, oh, you're out of shape. He said he wasn't professional.
Yeah.
So I mean,
or do you think he's in the conversation for the greatest defensive player of all time?
Oh yeah.
You got Ray Lewis,
Aaron Donald,
Deion Sanders. You got
Are you Aaron Donald right now?
Yeah.
100%. He's in the conversation. That's not even a question. He's not even done. He's like I said, he's not done, and he's already like you said 40th on the set. And then individual seasons that he's had have been spectacular. I believe he's had a 20 sack season. I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, with Aaron Donald, and now he's won a Super Bowl. He was the best player on that team. He has Super Bowl moments. So, I mean, even like those like kind of like X factors. I mean, he, in my opinion, had the game winning play when he pulled dude back from getting the first down. So Aaron Donald, he has the mystique around him. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's a big thing that sets you apart, the mystique, the X factor, like what Ray Lewis has. Ray Lewis is great, though, too, man. That's a great one. Yeah. Deion Sanders, also great. I don't know if I'm fucking with Deion over either of those two players, though, to be honest with you. Like, I'm sorry.
Deion changed the game, though, man.
Yeah.
When Deion left from Atlanta to go to 49ers, 49ers the Super Bowl, that became the staple. They wanted a shutdown corner, and that's why he ended up going to Dallas. They thought a shutdown corner team needed a shutdown corner, and that term I believe was coined after Deion, the whole shutdown corner thing. Then he played wide receiver, kick return, punt return, defense. He played it all.
Yeah, that's amazing. But like, he's missing a huge part of the defensive game, in my opinion, which is, did he smack motherfuckers in their face? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Did he hit people a lot? And not quite as much. And with definitely not. Now with the corner,
that's how I feel.
Well,
corner,
no.
Look over there. Let's look over there.
No, and I'll agree with you, but that's where I was going to say before I cursed and it threw me off a little bit. I'm trying to be respectful to your Facebook audience right now. Yeah, with the corner, I have a hard time. If we're talking about greatest defensive player of all time, I would have a really hard time landing on a corner with that. Even though we've had arguments on our pod, I personally think it's the most difficult defensive position to play. While I'm saying that, God bless you. While saying that, I think when we're talking about greatest defensive player of all time and greatest impact on defense, it's hard to argue. Like, Ray Lewis is tough. Like, when I'm thinking Aaron Donald, you said Ray Lewis. Now I'm like, damn, could I really say Aaron Donald over Ray Lewis? Because I'm kind of feeling like Aaron Donald is it. Like, who as many
like that
disruptive? My bad. I want to hear what you said. My bad.
No, I'm saying I'm kind of feeling the same way you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? But Ray was a bad boy. Deion, Deion affected the game on all levels.
So you're throwing that special teams in, like you're trying to give him that extra that
back all the time.
Yeah, but we're talking about greatest defensive player, where like punt return technically is defense. So I mean, I guess technically you could count it, but I guess we're gonna have to try that in the court of law, player. You're gonna have to get like we're gonna have to have a group of our peers decide if that's gonna fly, because I feel like that doesn't fly personally. I feel like punt returns, we're not really counting that.
We can take that out. That's cool.
Well, I mean, but it could be reasonable.
Deion, greatest football player of all time.
See, I mean, and that might even be a better argument. That might be a better argument for him, and because then I think him playing a harder position comes more into play than it being like a defensive position, if that makes sense. Even though I kind of feel like that argument doesn't make sense even when I'm saying it, but it makes sense in my head. But yeah, no, I mean, greatest football player of all time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
that's tough. Yeah, I think you have an interesting argument there. I'd have to really think about it, because then I feel like we kind of got to get into, once again, like, impact on the game does matter, and then it's hard to not pick a quarterback. Then, like
quarterback. And then you got Tom Shady. I got you. But
like 7 rings, Cole.
Yeah, he got 7 of them, Cole.
He got more than MJ. Whew, we did MJ dirty when he did that.
All right, though.
Yeah. I feel like I was personal. I feel like Tom said it was personal when I did that. You know what I mean?
Think so?
Oh, yeah. 7 rings? Come on, man. You're right. It is Tom Shady, because that was shade. That was shade all day long when he did that. And he did it with 2 different teams. Jordan can't say it. Greatest athlete of all time. I don't know. Might have to be Tom Brady.
No, cuz no.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people I've had this argument with, they start bringing up like soccer players and shit. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know nothing about no soccer. But hey,
yeah,
switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
The NFL trending to be more like the NBA, and when I say that, I mean, with the super teams in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Rams just basically create a super team with trades and different things like that. And it's a copycat league. Mm-hmm. Do you think where the NFL is going to go?
It's funny because you said copycat league, like the league is different. Another. When they say copycat league, they mean like the teams copycat each other.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're right, because they'll copycat the Rams. So I guess you're right. So yeah, so this is actually so that's an interesting question because I think there's two different groups in the NFL that probably feel completely different about this. So I think the NFL as the organization, not
really. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Raheem Moore said that when they got all those people, it was win or bust.
Sure, I can imagine.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Yeah, I don't know why you interrupted me for that, but that's fine.
To let you know that it's win or bust. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you, but I mean, it's kind of at a certain point it becomes that either way. Like Sean McVay had already been the head coach. I think did they go to the Super Bowl one year? Yeah, and they failed. So it might have already been win or bust for him either way, to be honest, from his perspective. Maybe not for the organization, and maybe after you make those moves, then now all of a sudden it's win or bust for the GM, it's win or bust for this person and not that person as well. And a lot of the players, it probably becomes win or bust at that point because they'll just liquidate the whole team if it doesn't work out. But I mean, there's like, do you remember? Probably calling. I don't even remember the point I was trying to make. But I do remember the one thing I do want to bring up real quick. Do you remember the Eagles team when they had like Vince Young was like the backup quarterback for Mike Vick, and they had Nnamdi Asomugha. They had all kinds of players, and they were calling themselves the Dream Team. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Them boys were trash, though.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wonder if it doesn't work the same way in the NFL. Oh, here, real quick, because this is what I was going to say. The two different groups in the NFL. So I think that there's a group that doesn't include the owners that probably want that to happen. Because think about how exciting that makes the NBA. You know what I mean? And how much that gets the NBA talked about. And just player movement is not a bad thing from that perspective. As far as like marketability, it doesn't hurt the league. If anything, it hurts the players' marketability, but not the league's marketability. Is like, it's exciting. The league's trade I guess yep. Oh, facts. This is laying down facts in the comments. Can't listen to May Lee.
Actually, that's my mama.
It's not funny when it happens to you. That's a fact. And just notice I didn't laugh at all at it. No, I'm playing. But no, I mean that is true. The owners, though, I'm sure the owners don't want that kind of like player empowerment, mobility, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm sure that group would want to encourage. Even in the NBA, they do. In the NBA, they have things like the Supermax and stuff that have been put in place to try to encourage players to stay, and that was reactionary to the players taking it upon themselves to be able to move a lot.
Yeah, and that's about to be canceled in the NBA, by the way. Let their bargaining agreement, this KD want to move. 4 years left on his contract. That stuff about to be over. They gonna do something to interject there. But anyway.
Well, I mean, but like I said, with the Supermax hold on. So what do you mean? Explain. What do you mean? I'm kind of confused.
He has 4 years left on his contract. He talking about he want to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA is going to do something about that. They're going to change that.
We'll change what?
In the next collective bargaining agreement, they're going to put some type of stipulation in these contracts. I mean, I got to give credit to LeBron. You know, I'm no LeBron fan, but LeBron plays through his contracts, or he'll have like a player option. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he bets on himself. So with KD, James Harden, Kyrie, all these players sign contracts, then finish them out. You know, I understand if you're on your last year or whatever the case may be, you want to be traded or something like that, but the NBA is going to change that here soon.
Question. So why is it okay if the Nets decide they want to trade him?
No, I get what you're saying, but they're going to do something.
No, at all. But so
they should put in their contract where they can't be traded. Got to negotiate that in.
They could do that, but the thing is, it's not. But that's the protection isn't there for the Nets in this case, and the protection isn't there for Durant. So in either case, so why isn't it open for the player then to just make it known, like, hey, I'm not happy here. I want to be gone. I agree with you. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. I appreciate. Okay, so this is it. I could see instances where it makes sense for a player to say, yo, I need to get traded, and just to to care. I always like when players do that because to me it signifies that they actually care about their success in the sport, rather than players that'll just sit idly by on a crappy team and collect a check for 15 years.
Crappy team. James Harden did it on a good team.
What team?
Good team. Anyway, this year with the Nets.
The Nets.
Yeah.
Come on, Cole. You saw what happened with the Nets.
Okay, so if they had him, maybe they would have won at least one game.
Yeah, okay, really? They should have kept James Harden? Are you ready to say that?
No, I think right now it's just. I think it's in the air right now.
It's in the air,
yeah, it's just in the air. But I mean,
be in the air. The whole
James Harden was the better deal.
No, bro. We're talking about the trade right now, right?
As of right now, just James Harden was the better deal, but.
Not even close. And then James Harden went ahead and he went ahead and took a pay cut.
So
stop talking about James Harden just any kind of way is all I'm saying.
Quitter. The LeBron camp. They both quitters.
Look, I mean, James Harden's not a perfect player, but we're not arguing is he better than Michael Jordan? Is he better than Ben Simmons? Boy, stop. Come on, man. We're not even talking right now. And then also the question is not even is he better than Ben Simmons? If he was on the team, would then KD and Kyrie Irving both be saying, yo, we need to get up out of here? Like Ben Simmons is really he's nasty. I don't know. Okay, my bad. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh no, you good. I was gearing up for the next section.
Oh yeah. Listen, well, I'm ready, whatever. I'm pretty sure I just smoked you. We can move on.
No, not really. I mean, I think it's still in there. I mean, as of right now, yes, you got the better deal of it.
Yeah.
But, team stay together because Kevin Durant isn't going anywhere. Kyrie isn't going anywhere, at least for the first half of the season. And then we'll see what Ben Simmons can do. But going back to that trade, Ben Simmons, they wasn't even supposed to, that trade wasn't even supposed to happen because Ben Simmons did not clear his physical and that. So it really wasn't even supposed to happen. So how did that happen? That's a conspiracy right about now. Because happens.
No, that's interesting. You're right.
But
or did he pass his physical and Ben Simmons is just bull?
That's no physical. Then all of a sudden he can't play because his back.
Exactly. No, I mean, but you're right. They must have given him a physical. In that physical, I think it's more likely that in that physical nothing came back as an issue, and then really what we're seeing is that Ben Simmons is playing games and still saying like, oh yeah, no, my back, I can't play my back.
I don't think he ever had the physical or something. I remember seeing something. I have to figure it out.
Well, I'd be interested in that if that did happen. I think it makes more sense that what we already thought, Ben Simmons, heart pump Kool-Aid, Cole.
Yeah, he's soft as cotton.
Yeah, he's sweet. So he probably got some back soreness. They're not going to not pass him on a physical because he got some back tightness from the night before.
It was on Chris Broussard show. I'm gonna have to look it up though. What's him and old boy? I'm gonna have to try to find it. I probably won't find it now. But
what's his show?
I don't know.
It's all good. Okay, my bad.
And Rob Parker.
He's a fool. Rob Parker is a damn fool, Cole. Come on. I'm not trying to hear nothing from him, but let's go.
Hey, Cole. So, what's been in the news about LeBron? LeBron said the Boston fans are all racist.
Yep.
I'm saying so there's a part about that do you know he owns part of the Boston Red Sox?
LeBron does?
Yes. Part owner of Boston Red Sox.
You can't say he didn't love racism though. You can't say
you can't say all these fans are racist. I hate playing there, and then turn around and take these people money.
Yeah, no, I mean that's interesting. That is. I didn't know he owned part of the Red Sox.
Crazy.
It is crazy. I'm pretty sure he's a Yankees fan, like 100% sure on that, to be honest. Yeah, he snapped. LeBron's.
Derek Jeter. When was this? He was on Knucklehead podcast about 5 months ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let them explain it. But what he thinks of the Boston fans. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna cue this up right now.
Okay, let's hear Derek Jeter.
You're not wrong, right? So it was you have to have a short memory. You have to be able to forget what's already happened. I was pretty good at putting the past behind me. I'd be 0 for 20, and in my mind, law averages on my side.
Right.
You know, I'm due for a hit now.
Snowman. You miss every single shot you do not take.
Yeah, that ain't it, but I got to find it.
Interesting.
Basically, he said that because the Yankees, the Boston fans gave him a standing ovation at the end of his career, you know, and he said that they know good baseball and this, that, and the other. But then LeBron, and I'm not saying they're not racist, I don't know, and I do believe it.
Way more people have said they're racist. Come on now. It's not just LeBron. Like, I just watched the Showtime.
I believe it.
Well, I just watched the Showtime, not Showtime, the HBO series for the Showtime Lakers. And that rivalry with Larry Bird, and then when they go and they play them, they make a whole point of, like, basically, they even say that, like, basically, like, racism is in the walls and garden and stuff like that. And they talk about other players' accounts of this. So it's like, that's
Definitely believe it.
Yeah, that's a common thing, specifically for Celtics fans, I think, even more so than even like Reds. I mean, it's the same fans, but I think Celtics fans specifically get a bad rap for it. But maybe it's because they're watching a sport that is even more predominantly black. You know what I mean? Like with baseball.
Yeah.
And also, you're not as close to the players in baseball. So in basketball, you're right on top of the players, and you're able to be racist as hell. So if that's in your blood, another place that we hear about that is Utah now. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that for years, though. I think.
So I think it's a thing. Unfortunately,
the thing, even Bill Russell said the same thing. I want to say the man said he hated Boston and the player and a player coach at one point as well, and. Obviously, he had win 11 championships out of 13. So if they hate him, they hate anybody.
That is, man.
Right.
What's this man got to do for you? Stop being racist, Boston. Jesus, boy.
But I think it's ironic that we have all that's been said. Derek Jeter considered black, and then LeBron owns the Boston Red Sox, a part owner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That is odd. But with Derek Jeter, I kind of feel like, what does that even mean? Like what he's saying? Well, I mean, I know what he's saying, but it's like they gave you a standing ovation on your home going tour or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe did the thing. Everybody gives you a standing ovation. They know it's the last time they're going to get to see you. It's just what every team probably did for him that year. So, you know, I don't know how much I buy into it.
They don't even play that game.
What was that?
He said he wasn't even going to play that game.
Oh, okay.
And I ain't gonna even try to find out. Be on here looking crazy, but
good. We're vibing. Yeah.
What about old boy, Warran Soto, who turned down a 15-year, $400 million contract, $440 million contract.
Y'all offer me half that, I'll take it. Get him out of here.
Yeah, crazy.
give me an eighth of that. Juan's out of here.
Yeah, that's crazy, and he didn't take it. Crazy. Now, but I think that ended up being like $29 million a year for 15 years.
Ooh, $29 million a year for 15 years. Well, you know what? So he probably got some advice that he could get more. So
what I was thinking, and I guess he's the hottest thing in baseball right now. One of the hottest, anyway.
There you go. I don't follow baseball quite as closely. I watch it every once in a while. I usually, by the time guys are getting contracts like this is when I become aware of them.
I don't watch it either. I just seen the story pop up on Google.
No, and I feel you. It's worth talking about. I think that's interesting. I think it speaks to the 15-year contracts blow my mind. So, how could you commit to anything? Like
the Marlins or whatever they call Florida team still paying Bobby Bonilla, I think his name is, $1 or $2 million a year.
Nuts.
27, I think.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I don't know. Like outside of marriage, which that's even pretty tough to commit to for life. And like 15 years is a long time. It might as well be life. 15 to life. What are you talking about right now? So, I don't know. From an organizational perspective, as a player, I would be less hesitant if it's a place I like to be and you're going to pay if the money's right. Then it's like, well, that's security for me. But for an organization, every year that I'm in this contract, after 10 years, it becomes less of security for me and it becomes more of a liability.
Oh, it'd be 39 when they finish it.
I mean, that's not even that bad. That's not that bad. I don't know how long people play baseball and like effectively. So, I mean, that's not that bad, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, if you think players are going to keep on, if it's like basketball, for example, where players are just going to keep on getting paid more, then it's like sign this dude for 15 years and 10 years. That contract's not going to look like nothing. You know what I mean?
$500 million almost.
No, it's not. And I don't think inflation is going to work the same way for them, considering they don't have the salary cap, and also they're not as rapidly growing. And like that league, if anything, I think it's not growing. Right? It's going.
Not much at all. I think the only thing that might help baseball is CTE and football.
Wow. For real. Name this. This episode that was incredible. Wow. Okay. The only thing that's going to help baseball is CTE.
If they play so many games, that's how they can pay so much money.
Yeah, I hear you. Because the revenue, yeah.
2 games in a season? That's ridiculous.
That is insane. Well, I mean, in basketball, as far as like you're talking about on a year-to-year basis, they're making more. They're top players than that.
Now before baseball, baseball was always the leader because they didn't have a cap. But then you also had, the Yankees and the Red Sox and the big market teams with all the good players who they pay compared to the Rays up here who they pinching pennies and shipping people out. Their best pitchers, they shipping them out every year. So,
I feel that. But from a basketball perspective, if you try to offer Damian Lillard that Juan Soto contract, he's going to spit in your face. You offer him some crazy shit like that. Like what?
Why you say that?
I mean, the 15 years would be nice, but you're talking about 29 mil a year. Dame's looking at getting paid like 50 M's a year.
Oh, man, you getting it for 15 more years, though, Cole. How long Dame been in the league? I think Dame would take that.
Yeah, maybe Dame's not a good example. Maybe it'd be somebody that needs after. Because the thing is, it wouldn't benefit basketball to a basketball player. I mean, aside from, once again, the security, which is great, but it's like we see basketball players taking shorter deals now, where they want to take 1 year, 2 year deals because they want to be able to re-up on a deal right when that salary cap increases. So then they one of these inflated deals that happen. So with basketball, it's uniquely different where, I don't think 15 years, 29 million a year is going to look good to Dame Lillard's like CJ McCollum. That's not going to look good to him. You know what I mean? That's wild. You're talking about the hottest guy in baseball, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like the second best player.
CJ taking that deal.
The 15 mil is the reason why. You know what I mean? But if we're talking about the point being for me, anyways, is the per year thing is they're laughing at that money.
25 mil? I meant 29.
29, bro. How much CJ McCollum making? I'm pretty sure he's making CJ McCollum.
Only 2 or 3 players on the team that's making that though. Well, I ain't gonna say 2 or 3, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, bro, but they be making it, call. 29.35 mil. So he's not laughing at that. He'll take that 15 years. So basically same amount of money, but over a longer period of time. So yeah, I mean, in his case, he is. I guess I'm bullshitting, but
deal don't go.
Bro, but like the players that are getting paid now, so like the Dames that are going to be able to get paid upwards of 40 mil a year. I don't know, man. They're
probably though. Yes, I mean, but okay, how long? How much? I mean, let's say Dame got 7 years left.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. In your case, you're correct because he's older. But like, okay, Anthony Edwards. Yeah. I'm taking that deal. Like he's going to get paid better per year. And then what's going to happen is that deal's going to end. And then the salary cap's going to be higher. And then he might be making 60 million a year or 70. But who knows? I don't even know when it's going to stop. Like when, because the thing is where for me, I look at it objectively and I say that is definitely too much money to play basketball. But then it's like at the end of the day, basketball makes a lot of money and they deserve a portion of that. So it's like, when do you cap that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, I guess you look at it as far as like not every job is based around revenue sharing. So I guess you could at some point say, we're not revenue sharing with y'all. You know what I mean? You think your partners, you're not. Y'all are employees, you're players. We're going to pay you this portion of, well, not even this portion, this much. And it's going to keep on going up for us. But that's just what business is.
I don't know, man. I think even if I'm Anthony Edwards, I think I take that deal, man.
You know what this means? You told me a lot about yourself. You don't believe you don't believe in yourself, Cole. I'm glad you just froze. That's God. That is God talking right now. Let me talk to y'all now. I'm gonna tell your audience, believe in yourself. Okay? 15 years? Nah, Cole, we don't. Yeah. Go, let me talk to him. That's crazy. Yeah. The podcast gods knew what was going down. They knew had sense.
Hey, $500 million though, Cole. I think I'm still taking that.
Bro, you gonna
we froze again.
You're still, that's hilarious. Okay, look at you again, not believing in yourself. Okay. Look at this man. Okay. Don't be like him. Do not be like him. Okay. Believe in yourself. After 4 years, that $500 million or $250 million, whatever, you're gonna be laughing at that because you're gonna be able to make that in like 4 years. Rather than have to make it over 15 years, you're going to be making that in like, bro, it didn't Giannis just sign for like 220 something million over 4 years? Something crazy. What are we talking about?
So 220 over 4 years. So if you turn that to 8 years, that's 220. That's the same. That's 4 years.
No, but it's less time. He's making that over 8 years. Your guy's making it over 15 because you didn't believe in yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, look, I'm not like 100%. I'm gonna touch that money in my life.
I'm just like, okay, let's say the money's still rolling in when you retire, though, Cole.
No, I feel you. Does it work like that though for players? I don't know. If you retire ahead of time,
probably not. I don't think in the NBA. Yeah, I think it cut off. But I'll just stay riding the bench.
No, and I feel you on that. Well, I mean, well, I don't know how that works though, because Luau Deng was getting paid. Remember?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think he just stopped getting paid last season.
Yeah. I don't know how that worked though.
That happened to him.
Yeah. Maybe because they weren't able to trade him. That might be why teams want to trade their players. They don't want to have to be on the hook for that contract because it's guaranteed in the NBA. But like I think in the NFL, you just get paid out like a portion of it. And then they're like, all right, well, see you in court.
Hey, they talk about what's McCollum might want to come back to the Lakers. What's his name? Dennis Schroeder.
After how they did him and he did himself. I mean, he should. It makes sense for everybody involved. I mean, he's just got to swallow his pride, which would be horrible.
He wanted money. They didn't want to pay him. And then he thought he was going to get the money and didn't.
Well, yeah, but come on now. Like when you're on a squad, you feel like everything's gravy. Didn't they just win the championship?
Yeah, but he wasn't on the team.
Okay, he wasn't on the team. All right, well, either way. So, I mean, you're looking to get paid what you feel like you're owed, and then, or not owed, but deserve. And and then you go out, and then they say no, and then they basically dare you to go find it. And then to your point, you're not able to go find it. So I guess that's why he's able to say like, okay, I guess you guys are right. But that still hurts, Carl. When they don't give you the money, then you go out and then everybody else is like, yeah, no, we're not giving you that money neither. That's what just happened to DeAndre Ayton, to be honest with you. I felt bad because when I saw him signing that contract in the offices, because Phoenix, you remember, they didn't want to give him the max. So, and they actually still finessed him. I want to explain how this finesse happened. And this was so cold. So they said, yo, we're not going to give you a max contract. He goes and they say, you need to go try to find that. So he goes and he finds that from another team from the Indiana Pacers, but they can't offer him the same max that the Phoenix Suns can offer him. So they have the max they can offer him is less money, like 15% less or some shit like that. So then he signs that contract with them because that's the most they can offer him. So then the Phoenix Suns turn around and then they match that.
Yeah. Which
then still they never gave him the max that they could have given him.
Perfect.
They snapped.
Perfect.
Exactly.
He wasn't worth it.
Well, one, I don't disagree with you on that. And I'm kind of happy, to be honest with you, that they went ahead and they snatched him up. Even though I know it's not easy to sign players of his caliber. So I'm a Pacers fan, by the way, also, because that probably isn't clear with what I'm saying. So I'm happy. I think they prevented us from making a long-term commitment to a player that just is like, just okay. Not going to win a championship with them, obviously.
A little better than Clint Capella.
Well, yeah, and my thing is, if you can't win a championship with Devin Booker and Chris Paul with him, then do I feel super confident I'm gonna win a championship with Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield? Hell no! What are we even doing then? What's the point? So yeah, and I love Tyrese Halliburton, by the way. He's a monster. But yes, it just wasn't going to happen. So I think it was a good move. But I just wanted to bring up how good of a move that is from the Phoenix Suns, where they ended up doing the same thing, but it worked out. They retained the player. They signed him for less, which they wanted to do anyways. So they signed him for a max contract. He feels like he got a max contract, but not really.
He's not even a threat on the 3-point line. I mean, he does he even shoot any type of jump? He might shoot a little jump hook or something like that. But yeah. He didn't even draw the defense out any. 16, 17 foot out, whatever the case may be.
He is, but okay. So let's be clear though. Okay. Cause I don't want to just tear him apart, Cole. So he does give you 17 points a game and about 10 to 11 boards a game. So that's not just
the problem is he doesn't spread the defense, meaning Booker can't get in the middle. Chris Paul can't get, they might end up in there here every once in a while, but
but he can't do everything. Okay. I understand. He's got to develop that. You know what I'm saying? But even if he shot low 30s from three, you know what I mean? Then he could develop that. So he's not the full package right now, but he already is giving you more without being able to do that. He's giving you more than what 80% of centers give you in the NBA today.
But I'm not even talking about the three. Give me a mid-range two.
Most people are dealing with centers that can't even get more than 7 rebounds a game.
But you want the max deal. That's all I'm saying. You want a max.
No,
so his ability, in my opinion, doesn't equate to a max like that.
Well, and I agree with you. I think the Suns did the right move. Not maxing him out to the extent that they. The thing is, he put them in a tough spot when he got that contract from the Pacers, and then he forced them to still. They probably still didn't want to pay him out that, to be honest,
more than they even wanted to. But
yeah. But at the end of the day, it still was. That was a savvy move from the Phoenix Suns front office. So I just thought it was interesting just watching it play out. I thought that was it was just interesting how it ended up playing out for him. But yeah, they're still like shit. You know what I mean? Damn. See, somebody really maxed him out though. But yeah, they still ended up saving quite a bit of money just by going that route. But then again, it wasn't really risky because if they were willing to pay him whatever the max was on the open market, then they knew that they had that in the back pocket. And they even didn't wait they had a period of time, 48 hours to match the deal. They took 4 hours and they matched it. So,
well, they wanted him on the team, and I think he fits on that team, but it's just the money. And I wish he would get a little bit deeper of a jumper. That's it, Cole.
Yeah, well, they know that and develop that with them and work on that, and I think you can get there. With the Pacers, I just think we're not close enough, and I think he is a younger dude, and I like that he was younger because our main pieces are really young, under 24. But I don't know. For me, I'm weary. I'm also a Dolphins fan, so it's I've seen a lot of times where you get these commitments with these players that are above average, but just not enough to put you over the top. And
my guy,
what was that?
Brandon Marshall was a beast for y'all, man.
Brandon Marshall was a beast. But so to stick with the basketball thing, Danny Granger, perfect example, where it's your best guy is really a number 2 or a number 3 in the big 3 era. You know what I mean? And it's just not, but he's going to be enough to win you enough games to get the 18th pick in the draft. You're never going to be looking at a top 5 pick until this past year, where I think we still had the 6th pick, or it might have been the 5th pick. But
don't y'all still got Miles Turner?
What was that?
Don't y'all still got Turner?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I like Miles Turner personally.
Me too. Yeah. I hate to go to the Lakers.
I think that he is going to go, though. I definitely think he's on the move.
Yeah. That'll be a nice move for the Lakers to make.
It would.
But I see it.
Miles Turner.
Miles.
Miles Turner would be an awesome piece for a team like a team that didn't need anybody to score more than like 12 points a game, didn't need a dominant rebounder either. That's another thing. He's kind of small, but he like as a rim protector, my boy, monster. Like he's almost 3 blocks a game,
and he can shoot.
What was that?
And he can spread the floor a little bit.
He can shoot. Yeah, he can't shoot, but the thing is, he can. Which I mean, he would be good for the Lakers because he could spot up shoot. Where he's not as effective if you're gonna like get him the ball in the post, though. I mean, he has some moves, but it's like you just wish he can give you more. Like I said, if you're looking for him to give you more than 12 points a game, you're probably gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? A good game for him is gonna be like 23 points, and that's on a great night. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, but from that, he kind of is like a poor man's Chris Bosh in a way, a better defender, in my opinion, a better rim protector.
Terrible on defense.
Yeah,
he used to be killing me. I'm like, what are you doing?
But 100%. But his kind of like his play style and stuff like that, and his frame for sure reminds me a lot of Chris Bosh, even coming in.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, man, I think that was about all I had for the night. You got anything else?
Man, we could have kept talking about this topic. I had way more smoke for you. I understand you ran out though. I understand you ran out of gas.
I ran out of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Brown garbage, but that's all the smoke I got left.
Whenever in doubt, if like you can't remember what the next topic is, or you ran out of topics, we still want to go for a little bit longer, just pull LeBron in here. You know what
I mean? LeBron in. I mean, do it on ESPN every day.
Old faithful. That's true. That's true. There's a lot to talk about with LeBron. I mean, Miles Turner, I like that move though. I think they should. They still are talking about the Buddy Hield move. Wild. Take him, please.
The Lakers?
Yeah. He's on the Pacers right now. And they wanted to get him from the Kings when the Pacers got him from the Kings with Tyrese Halliburton. They actually snapped on that. That's something, by the way, before we get out of here, that's, you know what, this will be the last thing I need to say actually. Because all right. I want to officially apologize, to be honest, with the Tyrese Halliburton. I already mentioned his name one time, said I rock with him. It wasn't like that at first. When we moved Sabonis, I was feeling like, wow, we moved Sabonis and what we got back was Buddy Hield and this dude Tyrese Halliburton. Like that was a big move.
Didn't he give LeBron the business, Halliburton?
Halliburton, when he got to the Pacers, and he was nice at the last year with the Kings. But when he got to the Pacers, I want to say he averaged like 20 and 9, like something crazy. And I'm to like point guard, like 6'6" point guard. And like, I'm all about, nasty. So, and he can shoot, he's the full package, definitely. So, I mean, I'm very excited to see what he does going forward. Don't even get me started on Paul George, because that was the last player that we had, and I love Paul George, to be honest with you. He hurt me when he left. Tyrese Halliburton, definitely, he's one. But when we traded Sabonis, I was like, damn, because when you have a piece, you know he's on the move, you know you got to make the right move with him. I kind of felt like we dropped the ball with Brogdon, to be honest, when we moved him for like a couple and a bunch of players that I had no idea who they even were, except like Nick Stauskas. There's a few of them, but either way, nobody that was going to move the needle. And Brogdon was like our second or third best player on the team. So it was wild that I feel like we didn't maximize that trade. And now looking back, I feel like so this actually really pisses me off now I'm thinking about it. Because now I think why we made that move was to free up space so then we could get Ayton, which then we didn't end up getting. So then we freed up all that space for a move that was hypothetical we didn't even end up making. So we really should still have him on the team with that flexibility to make the move. But whatever. Pacers fan, none of y'all are here, but y'all feel me. We're talking to Heat fans and Magic fans most likely.
I'm no fan of the Pacers, but I like the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? I like the way the team is constructed. I like Miles Turner. I like two that just left. You just talked about Brogdon. Y'all always are like, y'all have some dogs, but then it's just like you say, 16, 17 picking the draft, and it's not getting any better for some reason.
For sure. And we'll have one piece or two pieces we can't put. And the thing is, this is as a Dolphins fan, like, so this is what's so weird. Like, so as a Pacers fan, I get it. Cause I'm like, okay, I know we're working at a disadvantage to try to convince people to come play in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like to convince
Michael Jackson old house,
which is in Gary, Indiana, which is by Chicago. Indianapolis is in the middle of the state. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like to convince young millionaires to come spend their prime in Indiana, it's a tough sell. And with the Dolphins being my other team, that always frustrates me about them because I'm like, just recently they've turned that up, but I'm like, how can you not convince the same thing? Young millionaires to come spend their prime in Miami, Florida. Like it doesn't seem like a hard sell. And
they probably down there all off season anyway.
Y'all already got a house down here. There's no income tax. Like, give me the job tomorrow. I can convince anybody to do it. So just silly. But so the Pacers are always working against that. And then now, which is a new thing with the player empowerment, a new thing they have to worry about with the Pacers is actually keeping your players there and like convincing. Like after that first contract with Reggie Miller, I don't even think that was a question. It's like, hey, everything's good here. We love you. You like playing here. We treat you good. We're willing to pay you. So you're just going to stay. That's just how players thought at that time. But then now with Paul George, you're like, I don't want to stay in Indiana. I want to go I want to go play for the Lakers is what he was saying at that time.
Back home. You want to come back or whatever.
And went to the Lakers specifically, but then ended up with the Clippers. Well, ended up actually going to the Thunder. So, you know, yeah.
Oh, Braun.
Literally, yeah. Which is wild because then he went to the Thunder. And then the Pacers have been through so much over the past, like, since Paul George, because they had Victor Oladipo as their best player for like 2-3 years. He was
Victor 7 games.
Victor Oladipo is silly, man. He really played himself several times in his career, in my opinion. So yeah, I can't defend him because I defended him enough. But he's somebody I feel like at this point indefensible. What
happened? Didn't he get hurt? That's what happened, or
got hurt? Yes, he got hurt. But the man is also a full-time R&B singer, part-time basketball player. So let's just. So it's just it gets silly with Victor Oladipo, and like he says wild stuff on like off the court. Like if it still does, he's still saying stuff like as far as like he's playing NBA 2K, which you might not know about, kid, but they'll be giving you the little like wheel when you're playing as your player, and they'll give you an option. Like one thing will be like what you should say as a team player, and the other thing is like what you definitely shouldn't say. He always chooses that thing. Where it's like, you know, it'll just be so wild. Like, yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I should be getting more play. If I was out on the court more, I'd be having a bigger impact. It's like, bro, don't say this to the Miami Herald.
Yeah.
So he's bugging. I'll rant. So, I mean, I just guess I'm going to let you shut it down. I'm sorry to Tyrese Halliburton. That's where I really started. I apologize.
Let's go Victor. You know what I'm saying? Down over Miami. My boy need more PT.
Yeah, man. He needs something.
You know. We'll see.
Yeah, physical therapy and mental therapy. Please help Victor.
Yeah, my dog gonna come out and ball. I like Victor.
You know me too. I like Victor too. He's a Indiana Hoosier.
Hey, you know my boy Steph had roast. What's his name? Grant Williams.
Yeah.
Grant Williams came out and said, "Oh, I still think we were the best team." Blah 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 blah. And then Steph at the ESPYs came out with a green suit.
Yeah, they got smoked. He should just not say that. Grant Williams, you need to be practicing. That's what you should be doing. You should be practicing. Go ahead, my bad. Yeah, that's silly.
I'm just saying. I was gonna say something. You know what I put in the chat, right? I know nobody ain't say nothing.
What'd you say?
Just put it in there. I said I told y'all we never been to the moon.
Oh Lord.
But I'm gonna have to. But when I come over there, we're gonna fact check me.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put that on the screen, by the way.
Oh, you don't want to talk about that on your show. You don't want to get your
channel. I said it. It's cool. We ain't never been to the moon.
Never been to the moon.
Listening, we have never been to the moon.
Yeah.
I got proof.
Well, then, so I guess we could also leave it on something else that somebody told me about the moon recently. There's people on the moon that live there.
Yeah, they ain't ever. They might be there, but we ain't been there. They might have came from another planet and jumped on there.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. See, for some reason, I thought you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm stupid. You just said we never went to the moon, and then I thought you would believe that there's
somebody else got there some kind of way, but we've never been there.
No. I feel you. Hey, it's possible, man. Yeah.
Plans ignore me. That's cool.
No.
On two things too.
You know, I'm all for it. I probably just didn't see it. I was probably working, or I could have been driving. I've been driving a lot last few days.
Y'all ignore in two different ways, man.
How's that?
And then the baby gets a heartbeat and what was it? Not no
Yeah.
15 weeks. It was like 20 days or something. Baby gets a heartbeat. But
Yeah.
anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want to make your pod go long, but I read something that said
all I read is that. But anyway,
I read something different than that. I read something that said people feel like they hear a heartbeat within the first 15 weeks. Well, no, they said that it's electromagnetic pulses on the machine. It's not a heartbeat. Well, hold up. Let me just get this part out. Just because the heart doesn't, when you hear a heartbeat, it's the heart valves opening and closing, and those don't develop until after week 15, if I'm remembering the article right. But I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
That's all wrong because my twins were detected 15 weeks with a heart. By the way.
Okay, well, maybe she's a little bit further along than what you thought.
No, definitely not. Matter of fact. Maybe the doctor at Sarasota Memorial couldn't even see him.
Okay, so they couldn't see him, but they had a heart.
Well, they only seen one. They didn't see two.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
then a couple of weeks after the other appointment. But I'm just saying, cause like 2020, yeah, like 2 weeks or something. I forgot what it was. Days, like 20 days or something. Yeah, Cole. But anyway.
I mean, don't play us out on something that's not a fact, Cole. I don't want you to get.
No, that's what they say. That's a fact.
I mean, who said that?
I don't know who said it, but I looked it up.
You're bullshit though. Like that's
I'm talking facts, Cole. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or something like that.
Hey, look, you go ahead and hit the thing one. Just let me look up when the baby's heart is developed. You want me just like?
Hey, I drove to Tennessee too. Drove to Atlanta.
I have a heartbeat right there. Yeah, I drove down to Miami 2 days. That's why. For me.
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hey, I was at the World of Coke, doing my little vlog, and our kids, are you a YouTuber?
Oh, tell them yeah.
Yeah, had them doing the shout outs and everything.
Damn, did they subscribe?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
They're running, throwing them on there.
Yeah, no, I feel you get without their parents' permission. Right.
Without their parents' permission.
Okay, I'm glad you said that on camera here. We're gonna go ahead and shut you down.
They might have been grown.
Yeah, make sure to say that now. So actually, I remember you telling me that you checked their license and they were all over 18 years old. I remember you told me that.
I'm all over 21.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Yeah, it was over 21. That's right. Yeah, and you drink a beer with all of them.
Because I'm almost 40, so.
Exactly. It's a big difference. Well, and whenever I go out in public with the camera too, people do ask me that. It's always a weird thing. I always feel like uncomfortable saying yeah.
Yeah.
I got to just get comfortable with just saying yeah, subscribe to me right now.
Yeah.
I do.
An older guy subscribed too. Because he was starting a vlog. He's a truck driver. Then I had this little old girl for real. She was like 4 or 5 years old. She was talking to me, "Oh, you a YouTube? I got my own YouTube channel." And I'm like, "Where are your parents?" And then I turned around, her mom was there. So I was like, "Hey, say hey to the camera."
Yeah.
And so it was cool.
You're like, come on the show. Come on the show. It's open.
Go live.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, so we can play out right here. A fetal heartbeat may first be detected by a vaginal ultrasound. Well, that's not what we're looking for. When does it develop? But this says 5.5 weeks or 6 weeks after gestation.
That's still fast. Oh no. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what you're reading.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was Google. I know you don't believe in Google.
They're wrong.
When does a baby have a heart? 5 to 6 weeks. Embryo starts a beat. Heart fast. Also, it may be possible to see the first visible sign of the embryo, known as the fetal pole. At this stage, the developing heart is made up of 2 tubes that fused in the middle, creating a trunk with 4 tubes branching off.
And it's still not 15 weeks like y'all was talking about.
Man, look, hey, I feel like it's your baby. You do what you want with it. So to my business, sheesh. I'm definitely not gonna be putting food in the cabinets. But you already know. Yeah, so shut that down. Y'all crazy.
Huh?
You're a producer. They're saying shut that down right now. Y'all are going crazy if you get shut down.
Hey, it's my show.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're about to do a 4-hour live stream. Y'all better get used to it. Go nuts. But yeah, thank you for having me on, bro. This was awesome.
Thank you for jumping on. I don't know where everybody else at, though, cool.
Very.
And Deuce Andretti, whatever his new name is.
Yeah.
You know, this guy.
Been down.
What that mean?
I have no idea what it means. It's I think weren't you? Oh, I feel like you were on the episode when we were watching the Ezra Miller videos. The guy who was the Flash, and he was talking about the KKK.
Yeah.
Okay, he says in that video, he says that he's the Bindal Ghoul in the Mad Goose Wizard, and Deuce Andretti just thought it was so funny that he started calling himself the Bindal Ghoul. Yeah, he's a character. He's a character. Yeah, check us out. Deuce Andretti, the Bindal Ghoul on Sit and Politic podcast. We do the Real Spill podcast over there, the Sit and Politic podcast. I do some reactions, which I need to actually start doing those again more often. But yeah, we have Ken over there all the time. It's awesome. Yeah, we do podcasts that are not live mostly, and we also do these lives from time to time with Kent as well on that. But we'll have him actually in person on the couch, and we'll hoot and holler. Everybody else will get drunk and yell at Kent, and Kent will just look at us like he's righteous and better than us, and just wonder what the hell's going on in the world today. He's right to do that. And yeah, Sit and Politic podcast. That is the channel. Thank you, Kent, for always showing love and always showing support. Gates Open is definitely a second home, man. I love to see you growing and over 100 subs, man. You're going up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get big, get me some muscles.
That's it.
Yeah, sure. Definitely appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you having me on the show. And like I say, y'all go over there and check out Sit and Politics, see what's going on, and like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And check your boy out also, Gates Open Media. Hey, we small now, but we about to blow up.
Oh man.
All right, cool. Well, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get back together here soon.
Oh yeah. You gotta play D Mines. You gotta play some music out, right?
Yeah, I'm about to play it.
Okay, damn. Okay. This is like when somebody don't want to like ask you to leave the house.
Oh, you want? You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
You don't know nothing about that, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, no, I'm saying I don't know about that, man. Come on, man. You know how many times I listen to this song?
Hey, they don't make it like that no more. I got some more. We got some more coming up the pipeline. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. It's for the goal of sex.
Hey, normally though, hold up. See, can you hear this?
I can hear what you just played.
You hear that?
Okay. I can hear.
Is it like real loud? Meaning, can we talk over it? Because I've been playing it and I'm talking over it.
Oh, okay. Like in my ears where we're talking, I can hear you fine. But I don't know if like, on the video how it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn it back on when you popped on, but normally I've been playing that in the background. Just experimenting a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Can I be honest with you? I've listened to you. I will say it's a little distracting when you do it through the whole episode.
Yeah. Okay. I do. It does clip sometimes. So I've been trying to turn it down.
Yeah.
So, some people have you have music playing, but they don't have the words. It's just the instrumental.
Yeah. No, this right here, it feels like we're just talking like it's just like two pimps talking over some shit right now. So I feel like you like doing that. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of gas in the tank. And you do a solo man show, which is not easy. You're under Colin Cowherd, like going, well, I take that back. Not Colin Cowherd, because he's got beautiful Joy Taylor and I love her. And honestly, I think the show's more about her. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's some people that do a show on their own, and that is an impressive thing that you do. And I got to salute you on that. Like, that is no joke. You getting on the mic and doing it as much as you do, like for real, like salute,
Butterfly.
Man, bro, I'm gonna tell you, you're flying. You know what I mean? And you're stinging like a bee out here, baby. Like for real. You're doing.
We about to start producing something now, though.
I'm ready for you to stop saying that to me and you to actually do that shit.
I am. I just get lazy.
I feel you're not lazy. You are just doing so much. You do so much other things. That's like, it's hard, I'm sure, to find the time for everything that you're trying to do. And you're still doing this. It's not like you're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So
this is a little easy because I don't have to edit. But
exactly.
so I can just go off the dome, boom. But I got some stuff set up though, for real. Like,
yeah, I believe you.
I got me a nice couple of interviews set up that I just got to do. They ready.
My boy about to sit down with Obama, and he don't want to tell me. Okay.
Not Obama, call.
I know not Obama. Definitely not Obama.
About to sit down with Trump.
Yeah, Obama need to sit down with me before he sit down with you. If he sat down with fucking you before me, I'd be shitty. Like, what is that? Like, this man thinks that you were born in fucking Liberia.
Well, probably.
I know you're on that.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. No, 100%. You'd ask him the right questions.
Yeah. That basement stop running on Biden right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. Somebody told me Biden got COVID right now.
Yeah, he do.
Okay. Yeah, damn.
Blue and toasted and all that. Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, prayers up. I saw some wild videos, which maybe we'll do that on the podcast. I won't get you pulled down. You know what I'm saying? You'll save the most for my shit apparently. But yeah,
but yours don't be on Facebook. That's the difference.
Feel that I need to get on Facebook. To be honest with you, I see you doing your thing. You're going wild on Facebook. I'd be like, damn, 100 went crazy.
Yeah, Facebook will yank you off in a hot minute. So that's I'll be trying to be under the on Facebook.
No, that's why I was trying to watch my mouth a little bit on here. Failed from time to time, but tried. But yeah, no, I saw some wild videos of Hunter Biden on another podcast. The dude was butt naked in the pool, just pulling on his. Oh, you're on Facebook. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna literally describe the video, but it's crazy. And if y'all want to see it, I'm gonna save it for whenever Kent's on the show next because I need to hear that reaction.
Yeah, I've seen all kind of stuff. Cole.
Yeah, you already seen what about. You're gonna be like, yeah, Cole, I seen this 3 years ago. It was on the laptop.
And I told them people about it. I told people about it.
You're gonna say, I told you about this, James. You didn't want to listen. And I'm like, damn, Kent, you're right. I can't.
Been telling people, Cole, but it's all good though.
No,
a lot of people see.
No, you definitely been trying to open folks' eyes up. But I mean, at the same time, you're crazy as hell too, and a lot of that should be off base.
Just like we never been to the moon, Cole. I'll be praying them facts, proving it to y'all, then y'all come up with something crazy.
Please remind me on that because I already forgot you said that. That's how much crazy stuff you say. Is that you say something like that and I forget. Because in order for us to have a healthy friendship, I gotta forget like some of the shit you believe.
No, you gotta remember this.
No, I will remember it. It makes it an entertaining friendship. I love it. You know what I mean? Like it really, you challenge me in that way. So it's like I appreciate.
I bring out facts like the foreskin stuff. Y'all be like, oh my god, that.
What that was? I mean, I wouldn't say you bring facts, but I would say you have brought facts before.
I bring facts,
and they'd be surprising from time to time. But yeah, bro. Hey, man, let me slide up out of here so I can go eat these chicken wings before I for real gets. I'm missing.
Oh, you about to get a whooping, Cole.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be good. I said 30 minutes. I think I've been out here for like an hour.
Yeah, we've been on. Well, I've been on a total of an hour and 37 minutes, and you probably been on here an hour and 20 minutes of that.
Damn it, man. Well, it's all good. Hey, at the end of the day, as a man, you got to face your fears. You got to face your fears. You got to look it right in the eyes, and you got to say, "You just can't take my baby from me."
Yeah, and slap it.
Slap it. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna go for that. Hopefully, if I'm not free, make sure that I got a video that drops tomorrow, Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Bang bang boogie. Right, y'all holler at him.
Yes, sir. Love. All right.
Yeah, y'all, we done. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's the end of the thing. Y'all make sure y'all go out there and check out my dog. Sponsor of the show. Where is it? D-Minds Music. Make sure you Google that and get all the info you need. All the music that I say, they don't make it like that no more. See y'all next time. We out.